Victorian scientists have come up with...
Right now, though, time to go out to a rain-sodden old Randwick for our first race this afternoon, the San Domenico Stakes, which should be a nice slippery old sprint indeed, Johnny Tapp.
Well, Mike, you're in for a shock, as I was when I got to Randwick Racecourse today. You know, 2 years ago, this course was being ridiculed Australia-wide because the day Strawberry Road won the Derby here in 1984, the conditions were atrocious, and I heard a lot of veteran racing men say on the day that no classic in Australian history had ever been run under worse conditions. Soon after that, the Australian Jockey Club launched itself into a process called sandbanding, which had been used successfully overseas. They spent a fortune on Randwick Racecourse, and boy oh boy has it paid off. After 17.2 inches of rain on the course during the week, they ran 2 races only on today's program, and to my amazement, a course announcement came over to the effect that the track condition had been amended from heavy to slow. Absolutely no surface water to be seen anywhere, and jockeys who rode in those early races just couldn't believe it when they came back to scale. Ray Hadley, I'm dumbfounded, and I know you are too.
Certainly the case, Tappy. No sign of rain here, but a sou'easter gusting in from Botany Bay is making conditions bitterly cold. Checking the Tate board, Pre-Catalan the favourite at even money as expected. Western Ace at 16 to 1, Gallery Level 8 to 1, Seaswell easy at 7, Scots Lane 20, Rendu very easy at 12 to 1, Red Cap 100s, Cap the Varn 11 to 2, Hit It Star 33 to 1, the Outsider Tumble Test at 100, and the unraced Savensa in commission at 11 to 1. John Tapp.
Thank you, Ray. This race was inaugurated by the Australian Jockey Club as recently as 1980. It's a Group 2 race. It carries $50,000 in prize money, and it's the first glimmer of class coming into the Spring Racing Carnival each year. It's a race that we all look forward to because many of the young horses that did so well in races like the Golden Slipper, Sire's Produce and Champagne Stakes make their return to racing. In fact, here we've got Pre-Catalan, who ran in the Golden Slipper. You'll remember he ran 4th. Western Ace started in the Slipper. So did Seaswell, who ran a very good 5th. In fact, he hasn't started since the Slipper. And we've got a strong Queensland representative here in the shape of Rendu. The Raps are very big on him also. Ernie Smith is a part owner of Western Ace. Ernie is recovering in St Vincent's Hospital after undergoing heart surgery during the week. He's nearly certain to be watching right at this moment. And from all of his friends in the racing industry, a big cheerio call to Ernie Smith, and we sincerely hope to see him back at the races very, very soon. Ernie's colours will stand out very conspicuously here on television. Pale green, purple seams, purple cap. So he'll be able to watch Western Ace very closely from his hospital bed. Now here's the starter, Billy Cooper, coming over to release the field on a still sunny day, but very cold downstairs in the shadows. Ready to break now, Pre-Catalan in the white-orange hoops, orange cap drawn in 5 or 6 barrier. Western Ace and Rendu stand well. Leslie Belden, a lady rider, has a mount in the race on red cap. Scots Lane in the colours made famous by Gurner's Lane, a Melbourne Cup winner. Now the gates open, they're off and running, and Pre-Catalan began brilliantly, bounded right out in front. Rendu fast away, so is Savensa, and Tumble Tess is showing plenty of pace. Tumble Tess, a filly, has scorched through to go to the lead at the end of 200 metres over Pre-Catalan. Gallery Level getting up on the inside, and then Rendu and Savensa out very deep. Further back came Red Cap, and then Western Ace, followed by Cap de Varn, Hit It Star, Scots Lane, and Seaswell is last as they near the turn. Tumble Test, the leader on the outside, only narrowly from Gallery Level with the inside running. Pre-Catalan tracks those into the straight. At the head of the others, Rendu. Widest of all is Savensa, and Western Ace is right behind the leading pack as they come over the rise where Gallery Level got clear. Pre-Catalan in second place is going after him now, and then Rendu, and Western Ace is coming home well on the inside, but Gallery Level, one of Tommy Smith's, is well clear with 100 to go. He's got the second horse well beaten, Pre-Catalan, and Gallery Level's going to score a great win in the San Domenico. Gallery Level beat Pre-Catalan, Western Ace a good third, 4th Savensa, and then the grey filly Cap de Varn, who finished 5th. At the head of the others, Hit It Star, Rendu weakened, Seaswell made up ground. A long way back, Red Cap, followed by Scots Lane, and the early leader, Tumble Test, weakened out of it to run last. Another one to Tulloch Lodge. The winner is number 3, Gallery Level, ridden by Ron Dufficy, to pay odds of 10 to 1 on the New South Wales TAB, 5.50 and 1.05. Second, number 1, Pre-Catalan, every possible chance. He was beaten by the better horse on the day, 65 cents. And third money will go to number 2, Western Ace. That'll make Ernie Smith feel better. Western Ace, a great effort first up, $2.20. Ken Callender's selection in the Campbelltown handicap is number 3, Barloo, and you'll see that race live at about about 5 minutes to 3. Back to you, Mike.
Thanks, Johnny. That's the first of our live racing action this afternoon, but here on Wide World of Sports, we've got all sorts of sports coming up.
Let's go out to Randwick now for race 5. Your caller out there is Johnny Tapp. Tappy, you just saw that bit of racing footage. How do you reckon they would have gone with Judge John Schreck?
I just caught the last couple of seconds, Ian. It appeared to me that the jockey's offside stirrup leather may have snapped in the closing stages because he suddenly lurched to the offside of the horse and down he went. But I believe it was a steeplechase race, and what an amazing thing that you could go over all those obstacles without any problems and then fall off on the flat. OK, Ray, we've just got time to check 3 or 4 of the fancied ones on the tote before they go here.
All right, Tappy, the best back one is Barloo from 3s into 9 to 4 the ring, 5 to 2 on the tote. Orb's been spec 16s into 12s. The other one, Slave Trade, of course, 6 to 4 on the tote, 5 to 4 out to 7 to 4 in the ring. John?
Good, Raymond. Slave Trade probably won't get his own way in front here as he did at Warwick Farm the other day because there's a lot of speed in the race. A horse called Tuggerman has terrific pace, and don't be surprised if he takes Slave Trade on. Max Treasure should be camped along somewhere behind them, as will Barloo, and it'll be a good race. The gates fly open, they're off and running, and the New Zealander Orb began very awkwardly. He's back near last early with Elroy. Tuggerman bounded out in front at the start, beginning smartly. Steeler Tequila. Slave Trade by no means the first out. He slips through on the inside now to join Tuggerman in front. Little Silburn's not desperate to lead on Slave Trade. He takes over narrowly now from Tuggerman. About 2.5 lengths away, Castle's Best on the inside of Steeler Tequila, followed by Max Treasure. Barloo was on the fence and about 3 lengths away. Elroy followed by Orb and Gallinal as they near the turn. Little Silburn's got a lap full of horses. They come to the corner. Slave Trade going well on the inside of Tuggerman. They turn together. About 2.5 in front of Castle's Best and Steeler Tequila. Max Treasure hooked to the outside. Barloo's on the fence as they top the rise where Tuggerman took a narrow lead. Slave Trade gave in pretty feebly and Tuggerman drew clear. Castle's Best is running on well. Barloo getting through on the fence and further out Max Treasure. Tuggerman the leader with 100 left to go. Looks like a boil over coming up. Tuggerman is well clear. Look at Max Treasure absolutely sizzling in the last bit. He's rocketing home, but he can't pick up the leader. And Tuggerman has just lasted to beat the very fast finishing Max Treasure. Third's close, either Castle's Best or Barloo. Slave Trade gave in very weakly. He might have to lead to win, Slave Trade. And then Elroy and Steeler Tequila, followed by Orb, and Gallinal is last of all. Oh, 2 more hops and Max Treasure most assuredly would have won. But Tuggerman on the TAB at odds of 33 to 1 has saluted the judge. Trained by young Mark Daniels at Rose Hill, son of the late Jack Daniels. Young Mark did a good job with March Magic after his father's death. He has a small team in work and he does a very good job with them. Tuggerman, ridden by Neil Campton. That jockey has an association with the Daniels family that goes right back to the late 60s when they won the Golden Slipper Stakes in 1968 with a horse called Royal Palmer. Campo's been riding for them ever since. Look at Max Treasure. He's really sizzling in the last bit. He's gone under by, what, on the line? A short neck and 2 more bounds and he was there. But the post was too close. Tuggerman the winner, Max Treasure second, maybe Castle's Best third. Kenny Callender now with his thoughts on the Gold Plate handicap, and have a look at Ken's outfit. He could well be broadcasting from Anchorage, Alaska.
Last start at Warwick Farm, 4 Papa had us bookies reeling. He cost us an absolute stack when he was back from about 4 to 1 to 5 to 2. Well, today, I'm going to take him on again. I'll take the risk with him on this bog track. Now, I know he can handle slow going, but how about real heavy going? I don't know. And I do know that there's 2 other horses in the race, Jackson McCluskey, who absolutely love soft going. Talk about the wet, I'd think of backing them at North Sydney Olympic Pool. Last Saturday, Jax ran on a good track at Rose Hill, and I thought his run was the best for some time when he finished 3rd to Inconceivable. Today, at Randwick on a heavy track, I think he'll improve from 3rd and ring up number 1. Race 6, I'm going for number 6, Jax.
And you'll see that race live at 3:30 on Wide World of Sports. And right now, this important break.
For race 6, Johnny Tapp, you were talking about the track being in good condition. Well, they also trained more winners at Randwick than anywhere else last season.
Yeah, that was an interesting statistic, Ian. I read that during the week. The AJC took out the figures to see how many winners had been prepared on all 4 Sydney metropolitan tracks, and good old Randwick, famous old Randwick, still leads the field in that regard, some number of wins ahead of Rose Hill trained horses. The times they've run here today have been nothing short of amazing. In the San Domenico Stakes, they went went 58.7 for the 1,000 metres. In the Campbelltown handicap, they went 15.6 for the 1,100 metres. I just can't believe it, Ray Hadley. Incredible.
John, considering all that rain we've had, there's only 7 starters here. 5 of them have been back. Blazing Cotton 5 to 1, support for it, as is the case with On Stage at 5 to 1. 4 Papa, the favourite, at 15 to 8. Jacks at 5 to 1. McCluskey 11 to 4. The other 2, Peace Officer 16. General Scott Tappy 100 to 1.
Yes, anybody who doubted that Randwick Racecourse had regained its former mantle of the best wet weather track in Australia certainly had those doubts dispelled today. Quite incredible. McCluskey, the inside runner, the gates open, and he's missed the kick a little bit. McCluskey, General Scott was also a shade slow to leave, and beginning smartly on stage, led early from Jacks on the outside, and they've quickly sped away to lead by 3 lengths to Blazing Cotton. 4 Papa ahead away, 4th on the outside, 1.5 lengths to Peace Officer. General Scott second last, and last is McCluskey. The field broke up suddenly in the run to the first turn, and Jacks allowed to stride clear, led by nearly 2 lengths to On Stage, and 2 away third, 4 Papa on the outside of Blazing Cotton. 2.5 then to Peace Officer on the inside of McCluskey, and 2 lengths away last is General Scott. The field of 7 goes around the top turn now inside the 1,000 mark, and the pace is nice and brisk, and Jacks is the leader, led by a little more than 2 to On Stage. 2.5 for Papa, a length or so to Blazing Cotton, racing near the fence, about 2 to Peace Officer and McCluskey, and General Scott is last. These leaders have gone pretty hard, and Jacks led by 1.5 lengths to On Stage. 2.5 to 4 Papa, who's had a beautiful run. 2 to Blazing Cotton, being niggled a bit as they near the turn, followed by Peace Officer McCluskey, and General Scott is last as they come to the corner. On Stage moving closer to the leader, Jacks, as they turn for home, and Quinton looks to be smoking his pipe on 4 Papa in third place. Blazing Cotton pull to the outside. The others are headed by McCluskey as they come over the rise, where Jacks is the leader. On Stage under some pressure in second place. Now Ronnie says go on 4 Papa, which has cruised up on the outside. Blazing Cotton is coming home well. 4 Papa headed On Stage, and Jacks with 100 left to go. Blazing Cotton out wide is running on strongly. 4 Papa's in front. On Stage is kicking again. 4 Papa On Stage. They go to the line locked together, and On Stage has come again to win. You wouldn't believe it. On Stage has come again to win by half a head to 4 Papa. Jacks has run third, 4th Blazing Cotton, and then McCluskey and Peace Officer and General Scott tailed off last. Strike me pink. What price 4 Papa 100 metres out? 3's on, you can say that again. You've never seen a more confident ride in your life. Quinton was smoking his pipe on the turn. He breezed to the lead, 150 out, and I thought 4 Papa would do what he did at Warwick Farm the other day, just rocket away from them and win easily. But it was On Stage, coming again with Jim Cassidy in the saddle. I've seen Cassidy do this many times. Look at this here. 4 Papa, actually On Stage at that point, looked like running third at the best, I'm sure you'll agree. It looked as though 4 Papa and Jacks were going to fight it out. On Stage in the middle, further out Blazing Cotton. But now Quinton gets worried, he gets anxious, he goes for the Persuader as On Stage starts to fight back. This is the horse that Mick Dittman got suspended on at Warwick Farm the other day for not riding the horse out in the last 20 or 30 metres. Cassidy rode him out today, and he found plenty On Stage. It's a photo, but there's not much doubt he's come again to win. All right, you'll see race 7 live at about 5 minutes after 4. I wonder what Kenny Callender tips in that race.
In the second leg of the daily double today, I'm sticking with the Premier jockey Jimmy Cassidy on TAB number 4, Heroic Blaze. Heroic Blaze was a tiny bit disappointing last start at Warwick Farm, but he got boxed in at a vital part of the race, and I think he's much better suited on the roomy stretches of Randwick, where he was placed at his previous start on July the 12th, and he's another horse who really revels in heavy conditions. I think that Heroic Blaze should be pretty well placed all the way, and I expect him to shoot to the lead shortly after straightening, and after that we'll rely on Jimmy. Lady of Ross has got an excellent chance, but probably if it was even a bit further, it'd be more to her liking. I'm going for number 4, Heroic Blaze.
Thank you, Ken. Numbers official at Randwick, 3, 4, 6. On Stage 4, Papa Jacks. Official placings on race 6, and we'll see you again shortly after 4 o'clock. Right now, a break on Wide World of Sports.
Around the right hand.
15 to 1, Lady of Ross at 13 to 2, Linger Longer at 30s. Heroic Blaze is the tote favourite, 11 to 4 and well supported. Port Fair at 5 to 1, Gypsy Reward at 9 to 2, So Different at 33 to 1, Wineglass at 7, Stack the Deck at 20s, Handsome Air at 80 to 1, Brother Nero 66 to 1, Sile 80s, Star Kerry 40 to 1, and the outsider is Pedro's Tigress at 200 to 1. Well, Tappy, I know it's pretty warm up in that broadcast box, but there's a wind down here that's coming straight off the Kosciuszko Mountains.
Serves you right. You'll handle it. You'll handle it, my boy. They breed them tough. out Dundas way. OK, these runners are milling around behind the line. I'm just wondering if one of these might have loosened a plate. I'll check on that. Well, Tommy Smith jetted out of Sydney a week or so before the end of the racing season that concluded on July the 31st. And he was actually sunbaking on Waikiki Beach when Brian Mayfield Smith snatched the title that had been his for 33 years. Tommy had to cut that holiday short when his brother, stable foreman Ernie Smith, took ill just a few days later, and he jetted back from Honolulu and arrived in Sydney last Monday. I caught up with him during the week. The Little General's champing at the bit and means to win back his crown this season. He's taking his shock defeat philosophically.
No, I wasn't upset, no, because I think I've had a pretty good innings. But I really thought I would win this year because my horse was all to pieces and they'd only just started to come the last 6 weeks. And I thought I'd overhaul him for sure. But I just didn't do it.
What do you think of Mayfield Smith?
Well, I have never spoke to the man. It's a funny thing. I've never spoke to him in my life. He's never spoke to me and I've never spoke to him. So I don't know much about him. But I know he's got a damn good job. It's the best job I've ever known anyone to get hold of.
TJ concedes that Mayfield Smith's win was no fluke.
He's one of fair dinkum.
He can obviously train a horse.
Oh, my word, he is. His record shows it. He's a damn good trainer.
Now, aren't you worried about sheer weight of numbers? Because of your accommodation here, you've got 60 horses. He's going to have 100 or more all the season. Does that make it tougher for you?
Oh, naturally it will, but it all depends if they can buy the yearlings as well as they bought last year. My track record in the yearling sale is fantastic. When you take over 36 years or something, I've been buying horses, and every year I bought a good 2-year-old.
Back live at Randwick, and the starter has mounted his rostrum and they're ready to break now, and they're off and running in the Liverpool Bowling Club 50th anniversary handicap. It looked a good start, bar Silai, who was a bit slow, and towards the inside, Star Kerry bounced out in front of Pedro's Tigress, stacked the deck, and Lancelotto rushing over from the outside in search of the lead. Now close handy as Wineglass when they settled down. At the head of the others came Linga Longa, followed closely by Pedro's Tigress midfield, and then Gypsy Reward and Lady of Ross from Port Fair, so different. A long way back, Handsome Air as they head to the back, and then Heroic Blaze and Brother Nero and Silai back at the tail. Lancelotto clear as they head down the back straight, although Gypsy Reward going fast on the outside is pulling fiercely. I don't think he can hold Gypsy Reward, which has stormed up on the outside of Lancelotto, forcing that leader to go faster, and they've cleared out now by about 4 lengths to Linga Longa on the outside of Stack the Deck, a bit more than a length to Wineglass and Star Kerry, and then Lady of Ross, Pedro's Tigress, Port Fair. So different, Pratt at about 3 deep around that top turn. Well back in the field, Handsome Air, and at the head of the others then came Heroic Blaze, followed by Silai, and Brother Nero dropped out to be last. Gypsy Reward took over now and kicked away by 2.5 lengths on Lancelotto. Linga Longa third, Stack the Deck fourth, 1.5 lengths to Wineglass on the inside of the grey mare Lady of Ross, who's had a nice run. Further back, Star Kerry, followed by Port Fair, so different, hard ridden, so is Silai, and then Pedro's Tigress, Handsome Air, and Heroic Blaze and Brother Nero last at the 600 mark now, nearing the turn, and again Lancelotto took over. Gypsy Reward's been up and back like an elevator, and now she stopped as though she'd run into a brick wall. Lancelotto led around the turn over Linga Longa, followed by Stack the Deck and Port Fair coming into it strongly. Further back, Wineglass, followed by Lady of Ross and Handsome Air. Heroic Blaze is last and under the whip as they turn for home. Over the rise, Lancelotto the leader. Port Fair and Linga Longa are going after him together, and the grey Port Fair is about to grab the lead. Port Fair headed Lancelotto at the 200 mark. In third place, running on, Stack the Deck and then Wineglass, but Port Fair right out in the middle of the track is stretching out brilliantly in the rain-affected going. Port Fair going strongly to the line for Nigel Tiley, and he's bolted in. Port Fair beat Lancelotto, third Stack the Deck, fourth Wineglass, and they're coming in at long intervals. Well back, Linga Longa, Star Kerry, then Handsome Air, Pedro's Tigress, Brother Nero, Lady of Ross, Gypsy Reward, well back Heroic Blaze and Silai, and so different is last of all. Port Fair, winner of the St Ledger a couple of seasons back, has returned to his best form today. Ridden by Nigel Tiley, trained by Paul Sutherland, and he'll pay odds of 11-2 on the New South Wales TAB, about $3.20 and $1.30. Port Fair the winner. Now we'll check minor numbers in just a moment. Here's the rerun of the closing stages with Port Fair heading the top weight Lancelotto, and he stretched out really well in the going, Port Fair. He loves this soft ground underfoot. Tiley extremely confident, rides only hands and heels. Tiley, of course, is the #2 rider for the Brian Mayfield Smith stable, and other Rosehill trainers utilise his services on occasions, as has Paul Sutherland for this particular race today. OK, the last event is the Garçon handicap at 4:40. Let's hear from Ken Callender.
I reckon after watching racing today, you've realised that hard, fit, tough horses win on heavy tracks. And that's why I'm going for the Country Cuddy Tarbeo, TAB #3 in the last. King Rum's also got a very good chance, #8, but I just feel that Tarbeo has got slightly better form. And note that all his good form is on heavy tracks. He struck a heavy track here last Monday and finished a tip-top second to Solar Kingdom. That race was only over 1,400, and I think you'll find that the extra 200 metres is in Tarbeo's favour. And don't worry about the little kid Grant McCarthy who's riding him. He's already won on the horse at Canterbury. TAB #3 in the lucky last. I hope it is lucky. Tarbeo.
And we look forward to seeing the action live in the last at Randwick, the Garçon handicap at about 4:40. Numbers official on race 7 are 519 as we take this break on Wide World of Sports.
At Randwick, the Garçon handicap. If you click your fingers in a restaurant and call Garçon, you're supposed to get a waiter. I wish we could get a winner that easily, Johnny Tapp.
Yeah, it'd be handy, all right, Mike. I notice looking out from the commentary box, the rain has started to fall again at Randwick. A little bit of broken cloud overhead, and there's a scud coming out of it, but it won't amount to much. Yes, the Garçon handicap, named after a good galloper that Tommy Smith trained, probably close on 20 years ago. The runners are starting to move in. I believe, Ray, they've put a heap on King Rum in the race.
Certainly have, Tappy. It's shorter on the tote than it is in the ring, and I notice that you say from the comfort of your broadcast box that there's only a tiny shower down here. It's a little bit wetter than that, mate. Hot Dancer 10-1, Missy Outlaw 11-1, Tarbeo 11-2, Springer Wing at 10-1, Golden Treble 8-1, Fleet Invader 4-1, King Rum at 7-4, 2-1 in the ring. On the Bay at 25-1, Backer Hunch 100, Ace Patrol at 80-1, and Steel Fury Tappy at 200-1.
OK, Raymond, thank you very much. And this is the last of our telecast races from Royal Randwick today. After 17.2 inches of rain on this track, I think the times have amazed all and sundry. 1600, a good run to the first turn. He hits the button and they're away, and Springer Wing anticipated the start and bounded right out in front of Hot Dancer, followed by Backer Hunch and Missy Outlaw. Tarbeo began well with Fleet Invader, and right up there with them Steel Fury, and then Ace Patrol, followed by On the Bay. King Rum given a ton of time to find his feet, is about third last on settling down and dropping out to be last. Golden Treble. They've gone about 300 metres now and getting to the lead. Backer Hunch, the boy can't hold it any slower. It's just in front of Tarbeo, followed by Missy Outlaw. Springer Wing is now relegated to fourth on the inside of Fleet Invader, and on the outside next Steel Fury covering a bit of ground, followed by Hot Dancer. King Rum, who's midfield, 2.5 lengths away on the Bay on the inside of Ace Patrol, and Golden Treble whip them in as they go to the crossing at the 800 mark. It's Backer Hunch and Tarbeo level pegging. Tarbeo taking a narrow lead now. Missy Outlaw going up to make a line of 3, and Springer Wing in fourth spot, followed by Hot Dancer. Fleet Invader between horses, and right off the track Steel Fury as they come to the corner. King Rum is right behind those from On the Bay, and then Ace Patrol and Golden Treble, and they're packing up tightly. About to swing for home, and Tarbeo led from Backer Hunch with Missy Outlaw making a line of 3. Further back Springer Wing and Fleet Invader, and Bartley's gone about 6 deep on King Rum as they turn the corner. Over the rise now, and Tarbeo slipped away with a handy break. Tarbeo led from Missy Outlaw, Springer Wing and Fleet Invader, and King Rum out wide is under heavy pressure. He's winding up slowly, but by crikey, he'll want to get a move on. Springer Wing is coming at Tarbeo. On the Bay has burst out of the pack, and now King Rum is starting to hit top gear. Springer Wing is tackled by On the Bay. On the Bay, it's a doubles for the Mark Daniels stable. On the Bay got up to beat Springer Wing with King Rum third. I don't think he's overly ambitious, that horse. He stopped and started all the way down the straight. Then Golden Treble and Tarbeo, followed by Hot Dancer. Then Missy Outlaw from Ace Patrol, Fleet Invader, well back as Backer Hunch, and tailed off is Steel Fury. What a crackerjack winning double for the young Rosehill trainer Mark Daniels with long-priced horses. He won the Campbelltown handicap with Tugger Man earlier today at 33-1, and he's made it a double with On the Bay, showing 22-1 on the tote and starting about 16-1 in the ring. He's the son of the late Jack Daniels, who won the Golden Slipper in 1968 with Royal Palmer. And it's significant that Neil Campton, who rode Royal Palmer that day, was on board both of the stables winners today. Well, here he is in the purple colours with the dark blue Maltese cross and the red cap. They're the colours of his late father, Jack. And it's on the bay, coming at Springer Wing. Look at King Rum on the outside with the blinkers, yellow colours, red cap. The mere fact that he wears the blinkers indicates to me that he mightn't be overly keen on the job, and he seemed to, he'd get a spurt on and then he'd struggle and then he'd go again for 50 metres. He ran a funny sort of a race, King Rum. I don't think he's overly ambitious. Numbers 10, 4, 8, official on the last of the day, Mark Daniels Day at Royal Randwick. And all of the live racing action was brought to you with the compliments of Tui's. I hope you're back to winner or two, and we'll see you next Saturday at Warwick Farm when the champion Bounding Away resumes in the Silver Shadow Stakes, and a top-class field will line up also in the Warwick Stakes. A message now, and then Wide World of Sports resumes right through till 6.